Hey guys, Brad M73 here. Welcome to Frontier Pilot Simulator. Sent this game by Alex over at Razer Games last week, so I've been playing around with it a little bit, kind of getting used to it. It's essentially an alpha version of a kind of a science fiction spaceship. Well, not really spaceshipy, but you'll kind of see as we play along through this. But it's kind of like a pickup and delivery simulator. Not so much hardcore and simulator. It is a bit more arcadey, but we're going to get into this. I'm just going to choose a new profile since, let's see, we'll choose Charlie, I guess. Go back, and then we'll click New Games. And hopefully that doesn't override any of my old games. So it's described as a trucking, flight, and sci-fi simulator with a great storyline and 24/7 communication with players. I haven't really seen much of a storyline to date, and I've actually played it for, I don't know, probably 8 to 10 hours, maybe a little bit more than that. But okay, F1. Let's turn this off. Oh, how to fly. So this is basically, I'm just gonna kind of tab through this really quick because obviously I already know how to do all this stuff. Maybe. But, okay, so how do I get it? Okay, escape. So, welcome aboard, Captain. All systems go. And we're ready for takeoff. So, where are we supposed to go? Okay, welcome to... The only problem that I really have with the game is the... Let's see, the most promising colony... Okay, so we gotta go over here to this destination point. Yeah, the only problem I really have with the game so far is the controls. They're very sensitive, and it definitely takes some time to learn how to fly these little ships. And it also takes a fair amount of skill as well. So we're gonna land here at the destination point. Now, I'm making this look easy. I'm telling you guys, like the first several hours that I played this game, I was ready to punch a monkey. All right, now another thing that I didn't know starting off is that you can actually steer the ship or the whatever this thing is around so that you can align it with the landing zone if you don't want to take off again. Buy rations. Okay, so we have to open up the terminal. Oh, another thing I should say is I am using a wired Xbox 360 controller. I found it next to impossible to play with the mouse and keyboard. It was definitely not doable. Another thing I want to do is I want to fill up or recharge my ship with fuel or charge or whatever it is. It looks like we have completed the buy. And so we need to sell the rations. You can see kind of center upper right. It says sell rations here. Now we go to the central. This biofactory is engaged in terraforming, spraying bacteria, and all of that. Okay. It's kind of going to be up here through the mountains. Now you do need to be somewhat careful because if you take a heavy load, you could actually end up with problems climbing and descent. Well, climbing not enough and descending too quickly. Things like that, which is, you know, would be a bad day for most pilots. Ooh, there's our shadow down there. But it's actually like a fairly fun game. I get offered, you know, early access games quite a lot. And a lot of them that I try out, it's just like, this is not a fun game. And then others are really great. Sell rations here. All right. So you do have to position your craft here, your jump ship or drop ship or whatever these things are called, appropriately. We will top off, and then we'll sell these rations, and then we'll pick up these G-type these empty G-type batteries. And as you can kind of see down at the bottom, I can't even exit out of this because we are loading the cargo. You can see the little cargo arm down there. And there we are. So first priority, cargo is accepted. What about, oh, okay. What about Ivor? Well, yes, the colony is miners, practically our neighbors. The cargo liners are walking for less than a week. The report was something happened there, and even the famine began. Okay, there kind of seems something like something's lost in translation there. So now let's see, ground. So we picked up the batteries. I'm going to tell you where to take those because now the game is kind of open-ended, and essentially we have to get our ship upgraded to the next ship. Now, as far as I know, as far as I've seen so far in the game, I've only seen 3 different ships. But you can buy upgrade modules to give you more lift, more structural strength, things like that, and you know, more maneuverability and whatnot. Oh gosh, we're coming down hot. So this is where you want to sell the battery parts, and the game does get a little bit repetitive at this point because you're going to be constantly selling, you know, basically doing like the same little loop of, you know, buying, selling, and so on. Now, we do have the option to buy these G-type batteries, but they're extremely heavy, and I'm going to show you what happens when we actually buy them and load them. So we're going to load them into the cargo bay. And we're going to try to take off. And oh my gosh, I'm actually taking off. Okay, now that I'm up so high, though, it is not wanting to work. Let's try this again. I'm going to see if I can go straight up for a while. But once we get out of ground effect, we come right back down. So we're just not going to be able to transport this cargo. At least not yet. Come on, let's get lined back up here. And we're just going to sell this. We don't lose any money. We also have the map. Now, as far as I can tell, this is the little starting island. So we started off here at Bridge Point. We flew over to Spaceport Aztlan, and then we flew up to Central. And then so basically, if you just keep doing, essentially picking up the colonial rations, take those rations up here and selling them, and then picking up the batteries and bringing those back over to Bridgeport, you'll be able to make, you know, fairly decent money in a decent amount of time. The frame rate on this game isn't great. Like right now, I'm only getting like 18 or 19 frames per second. I am running the game pretty much everything maxed, and you can check my specs down in the video description. But I am running like a GTX 1080, and you know, I would expect for a game, a game that has such simple graphics, to get much better performance. So that's a bit, that's a bit of a letdown, but you know, kind of is what it is, I guess. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, we're gonna refuel. Pick up those Colonia rations. I wish that the loading and unloading was a little bit faster, but you know, it's not really. I guess it is what it is. We're gonna go forward here because I want to show you the. I guess this is the store, kind of, or the hangar where you can upgrade your flying vehicle here. And I don't know if we've got enough money to upgrade anything, but we're going to check that out and see really quick. Which does take some time. So we've got some, you know, here's all of our basic things here on the left. We can also choose to upgrade the rigidity. There's also some batteries. I think these add to the weight, you know, the overall weight of the craft. So I'm going to leave these off right now because there's really nothing that gives us, you know, extra thrust. And we're going to have to save up about 40,000 credits in order to afford the next ship. Now, another cool feature of this game is you can actually is it not working yet? Maybe it's not working. Oh, here it goes. You can actually hit the Y button, and it's going to show you where all the air currents are flowing from. Because, you know, when you're coming into land, the air currents will actually blow you off the landing deck, which can be quite, you know, it can make landing quite a challenge, I gotta say. We can also go into an alternate motion mode by holding the left bumper down on our gamepad, and that gives us kind of more of like a strafing style of flight. And I kind of wish, let's see, I need to get to Nord. All right, let's say yes. We're going to take him to Nord. So we're going to sell this. I'm going to pick up the well, we'll go ahead and recharge while we're here. Purchase the batteries. Now it's transferring the batteries under the rear of the ship, and then my little cargo boom comes out, picks it up. We are all good to go. Now, in order to pick up the passenger, we have to go right down the hill here. Or you could fly down if you wanted to. But there's the little passenger guy out there. And we just hit the down arrow, or the down arrow on the D-pad of the controller, and it comes over, and he comes over. He's gonna jump on board. And then you do want to hit the D-pad again in order to close that. Otherwise, flying can be really tricky. All right, so we're going to take him to his destination. Now, one thing that you want to be kind of careful of there's like these volcanoes over here, and there's also kind of like these steam vents or steam geysers that will really, well, they do damage to your ship. So you got to be really careful of those. Okay, so here's where the passenger will disembark. I still haven't quite gotten the view cam down. We'll just finesse him right up here. And then you just, deploy your ramp again, and he'll walk out, and he's all set to go. And make sure to put the door back up. Now, I do find myself playing this game more often with the wind current mode on, though you can turn it off. But later on in the game, it becomes a little bit more important because you might be getting strong headwinds, and that could potentially cause you to lose a lot of fuel en route to your destination, and you might have to crash land or make an emergency landing and then request fuel, which is pretty expensive because a little robot has to fly out and refill you, and it's time consuming, and it's a lot more money than it would be normally just to refuel. So you do kind of need to calculate some of your drop-off points as you go from point to point, especially on a really long run. Now, right now, since we're just on this little island, we're not really going to see too much of that, if any. Come on now, back up. Up. Go. As soon as we're refueled, we can go and take off and just kind of rinse and repeat. Oh, the frame rate. But yeah, I mean, they do say, that there is a story. I don't know if a storyline, if there's going to be a more heavy storyline in the future that's going to kind of guide us in a certain direction. I think that is one thing that this game is lacking at present. But it's kind of fun, and it's fairly relaxing. You're not shooting anything. It's just, transporting. And like I said, it does take a fair degree of skill to pilot your ship around. And sometimes it's incredibly frustrating too. But it took me probably a good hour or two to really get used to how the ship handles. And once I did that, I didn't have any more problems afterwards. Okay, ready to go. You also want to be you want to be careful not to get too much forward momentum, because sometimes you might be going too fast and you can't climb quickly enough to fly over a ridge or something, and you'll end up crashing and burning, which is not fun. Now, when you crash, there is like a kind of like a ejector pod that pops out, and it'll fly you to the nearest base that has like a store, like a hangar. And from there, we might crash here. No. All right, so we got a little bit of damage there. And you could look along the bottom and you can actually see, you know, the different percentages of damage that the different parts of the ship have. So fuselage is 97, we're at 97%. The wings, though, are down to about 90%. So, yeah. Okay, we'll sell those. And now, if you notice, we are actually out of batteries. So we can't do that. So let's fly over to Nord, I think it is. Service drones contain. Oh, okay. Let's go see if I can pick this up. Hey, buddy, help me out. I've got a container in Nord, some mess with documents, and now I cannot sell the goods. That has to be something. One thing that does kind of tick me off about the game is the little pop-up messages. They go by way too quickly, and I think that there should be a lot more time to read those, and or, you know, like a button press that we can hit in order to, you know, verify that we've read it. You know, hit the X button or something, or A or whatever. Okay, so here is this container. I'm gonna put the door down. We have to see. Hey, buddy, will you take me to the base central? We're gonna say maybe later. Right now, what I want to do is I want to try to load this up. It's a hell of a heavy cargo, so be careful. Oh, thanks for telling me now. Where do I have to take this? Well, so far it's not too bad. We have 10 left to declare these drones. Okay. Well, we should have plenty of time to get there. Just take it slow. You know, it is a little bit heavier. I can definitely tell we're not climbing quite as quickly. See, all pilots, target spaceway CF-13 completes landing at the Aslan spaceport. Please keep your distance. Okay. Oh, there's the shadow. Ah! And I don't think I can really look. Oh, I can look up. There's this big, huge spaceship that's coming in for a landing. Or a docking, I guess. Okay, so I'm basically concentrating now, trying to make sure that my rate of descent, which I can see over on the right, is about minus 13 feet per second, I'm guessing. And you're always going to have your finger, you're always going to have the trigger finger on your right throttle, because there's nothing like hover mode or anything like that. You have to do it all manually. Okay, we're going to go full thrust and... Oh, perfect landing. And we got to drop it off right around here. And let's see here. Now I have to hit right on the D-pad in order to drop it off. And apparently we got an award. I don't know what the reward is, though. So let's just go up. And we need to recharge, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Try to swing ourselves around here. All right. So hopefully, yep, the B2 rations are there. So let's go ahead and pick those up. We just need a couple more runs probably, and we'll be able to upgrade to the new ship. Now, as far as whether or not I'm going to do like a, let's play on this, I don't know. I might like revisit it once it hits the beta stage, because I think hopefully by then there'll be more content. So all I can say is, just kind of stay tuned. Excuse me, stay tuned, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so up here you can see there's some pretty hefty wind currents. This is about as strong as they get in the game. And this is going to make landing over here fun. But that's kind of part of the game. Occasionally you will run into like hurricanes or cyclones. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh. Barely made it. Come on, back up. All right. I'm going to sell those. Go ahead and refuel. So we're up to 25,000 credits. Now down to 24,800, but that's all right. Okay, getting ready to load here. All aboard. And now it's just kind of rinse, repeat. And the game does kind of, right now, like I said, there's not too much of a story involved. And if there is more of a story and I just haven't found it yet, then maybe that's my fault. But I think once we get to that point, the game's going to be a lot more fun, I think, maybe. But overall, it's a pretty cool game. I enjoy the science fiction aspect of it. Oh, come on, let's drop down. I'm not sure if you can tell, but we are kind of getting blown to the left. And you want to, see how we're getting blown off to the left there? You do want to be fairly gentle. There actually, I think, are some fragile cargoes where you have to be very careful upon landing. Ooh, what is this cargo box thing over here? See, there's this cargo box right over here. I'm going to see if I can pick that up. All right, so we're going to sell those, and I'm going to try to pick this cargo box up. Come on, now. Backing up can kind of be a little difficult from time to time. No. Come on. The controls, especially on the ground, are definitely slow to respond. Okay. More B2 rations, huh? Well, then I know exactly where I'm going to take those. I'm going to take them right back to Central. Get a little chunk of change out of them. Okay, now I'm going a little bit too fast here, so I want to slow down, make sure we gain some altitude here. There we go. Yeah, now I think we're kind of in the middle of a cyclone or hurricane or something here. Need to get some altitude because we're below our landing zone. Okay, there we go. If I can stick it on right on the pad here. Yeah. Not too bad that time. Okay, so we're up to 30,000 as our regular customer. We offer you a ship. So now we have to buy a ship. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more cargo run just so we have a little bit of extra money. Otherwise, we might buy the ship and then not have anything to, not have a way to buy any cargo. Okay, let's go ahead and rotate around. Not that way. Need, there we go. Hopefully there will still be some rations here that we can pick up and sell at Central. Yep. Fuel. All right. Good to go. And up over the hill. We are pleased to announce a new upgraded ship. Okay, so they're just trying to tell us about the ship. Okay, we're gonna try to move in here in this like hover mode. I got the right stick or right bumper held down, and I'm essentially just kind of using this flight mode, which in some circumstances is a little bit better to handle. Ah! Ooh, I took some damage there. Alright, we'll sell those off. Now I think we'll have a much better, have a little bit more of a nest egg to sell. Buy an engine? What? Buy an engine. Okay, I don't know why it went from buying a ship to buying an engine now.
Don't believe everything you see on the radar at this time of the day, at least.
But we'll land. We'll see what this engine thing is we're supposed to buy. Okay. So basically, like, this game is kind of like space helicopters, like space cargo helicopters. All right, so let's go into the hangar. I almost said garage. Might as well be a garage, I guess. All right. So yeah, you can see the Mongoose engine with extra diffractors, which will definitely give us more lift. And let's go ahead and buy those because it'll count towards the new ship anyway. And I'll show you one of the reasons why you might want to buy these early in the game. You can actually see the robots there in the background swapping those out, which is pretty cool. Here they come. Now we're going to have 30% more power, which is going to be pretty important for overcoming our next piece of cargo. You can tell they're a little bit bigger. Weirdly, though, I'm not getting any audio on them. And I have noticed that some engines don't have audio. So I'm sure that's probably just an alpha issue, but something to point out. Oh gosh, they're really powerful. And on such a small craft here, they're a little touchy. Okay. So now we can actually buy this heavier cargo, and we'll be able to fly it over to the destination without a problem. Or without too much problem. It's still very heavy. You can, oh my gosh. Yeah, you can still tell that that extra weight adds a lot to the ship. And that's actually one of the things that the developer has tried to stress is, you know, you have to be careful when you get certain cargoes because they really just weigh your ship down. Gotta slow down here because we gotta gain some altitude.
You wanna hear my favorite country song? Once again.
Alright. Hi, how's it going? Can you imagine I could not declare those drones? The SS states that the rules have to be or have been recently changed, and that drone... I'm trying to read and fly at the same time. And drones fall in the same category as military equipment. I found a guy who would love to buy them, but quietly from the upper deck. And yes, I will owe you one. Okay. Well, let's sell our batteries here. Should get a nice, pretty... Did we lose money on that? I think we might have actually lost money. Alright, so let's go down here. Cargo for a cargo spaceway. Be cargo for the cargo spaceway. Or just cargo for cargo spaceway. Okay. Go ahead and put the ramp down. So I believe this is the... Well, this is the same cargo we picked up previously. Great. Loading finished. I passed the exact coordinates. Yeah, they should probably have some better translators working on the English translation, because I've noticed, you know, a lot of grammatical issues. I mean, they're not terrible, but it's just something to be aware of. All right, so we got to go up here. We got to land on the deck of this ship here. There we go. Come on, back up. Now, is this going to give us a green circle or no? I guess not. Let's just go ahead and drop it off. There we go. Thank you. I have been reported. The cargo... You have been reported. Oh, no. All right. I get 2,000 bucks. And let's just go ahead and drop down... Drop down here, and we're going to try to buy our new ship now. Okay, oh gosh. All right. Go, 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 go. Now, one thing is if you don't have much of a cash buffer, you can really get yourself into a bind in this game, because you can actually go negative in cash where you can't purchase, you basically can't buy any cargo, and so you either have to sell off improvements, and that's assuming that you have them. We need to enter the garage here, and we need to buy this ox. And so, let's see, we have to press Y 5 times to confirm the purchase. Obviously not. Oh, we'll say X. X, 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 X. But really? Okay. I think we ended up losing money on that last battery transaction. So let's, I guess we're just going to have to go out and try to earn some more cash. I thought we would have enough, darn it. Especially exchanging our old ship for the new one. What a I would have definitely thought we would have had enough money for that. Okay, let's turn around. Advanced rations. Okay. I would have swore we were going to be able to buy the ship, even though... Because essentially what happens when you exchange your old ship for the new one, it's supposed to, give you credit for your old ship. So, I don't know, I guess my ship isn't worth as much as I thought it was. Okay, I see some cargo on the landing pad there, so that's good. Or not on the landing pad, but like in the little cargo zone behind it. Can't see it right now. Oh, come on, land. There we go. We're going to sell that. Buy the batteries. Now, when you do these, very quickly back to back, you'll actually see the price start to fall. And, so it's just like a commodity where, the more you flood the market with sales not... Okay, good. Because I didn't want to sell it. The more you flood the market with a certain commodity, the more that price for that commodity is going to drop. Because the demand's going to drop. And so that's essentially kind of what happened there. We've got 31,000. I would think that after this, we should be able to... Oh gosh, this weather's killing me. Full thrust. Go. All right, so there we got about -2 feet. Bring that down a little quickly. Nice landing. And then, okay, so type G batteries for drone equipment. I'm gonna go out and see. Okay, so necessary items. Guess we don't need that there. Okay. All right, so let's go see if we can buy this new ship. And touching down. Nice. I'm going to tell you guys that I'm making this game look a lot easier than it is. But I don't recommend it currently unless you have a controller that you can actually play it with. Alright, so let's go. Let's hit E to... I'm doing this on the keyboard this time. Okay. Press E Okay, E. Awesome. Okay, so now we've got the big ship. And we've got 3,000 bucks. Now I can get to Raglor. Extraction of minerals is big business. Raglor, well, I'll show you Raglor here in a few minutes. What I'm going to do is we're going to try to get down. Let's see. I don't have too much time left. But we might get lucky. So let's just see what happens. Gain altitude. There we go. You also see this egg sample there just below the ship. You can actually stop and pick those up. There are different places. It's basically like alien, you know, fauna and flora sample kind of things. And you can make a little bit of extra money doing those. They usually pay, you know, a couple, you know, several hundred credits to a few thousand, depending on where you sell them.
Actually, it sounds like you deserve it.
Alright, so we're going to land here. As long as I don't crash. Full thrust. Oh. Nice. Not right now. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to pick up water bottles. Okay. Now we don't have a whole lot of money left at this point. And we're going to zoom way as far out as I can go on the map. We're going to want to go to Raglor first, which is 67 or 60 kilometers away, almost 61 kilometers away. And then I want to go down to hard mining, because if you look, water sells for almost 80,000 credits down there. But the trip can be long and arduous, especially right now, because we don't have a whole lot of fuel. So I'm going to get us in the right direction here. We're going to try to gain some altitude. And once we get enough airspeed, we can hit X and turn into a plane.
Sometimes I really miss my fiancée. Wish I can bring her with me.
And then we can just kind of kick back. We can gain some altitude and try to get above all this storm. But you don't want to go too high, because then you get all kinds of weird electromagnetic interference and your navigation can go out and it can just be a loads of fun. You can turn that off so you can kind of see the graphics. Oh, we're breaking the sound barrier right there. I'm guessing that's what that is. Okay, so you can see the emissions thing coming up here. Uh-oh, we're gonna lose. Oh, no, we're not. Yay! The radar broke down. I was afraid of that. So you basically want to just stay right below the emissions level. Like here, and our airspeed, we're going like 450 kilometers an hour, or yeah, I guess that's kilometers an hour. Our radar is going to be back now. 27 kilometers to Raglor. And usually when you're about 15 kilometers or so from your destination, you'll kind of want to start descending. depending on where you are. So we're coming up on that now, so I can just, no, I don't want to go up, I want to go down. And I can also take my finger off the throttle. Now you want to be careful on your descent rate. We're getting a little steep here. I can see the island coming up already. Okay, so we're at a decent speed right now. And we're going to convert over to VTOL mode. Wait, where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, I guess we're still in this hurricane now. Okay, so let's take off. I'm just gonna kind of shift things over this way. Now there's also a hangar here where we can stop and buy things, but all I want to do here is just refuel. And then let's go back to the map. And we're going to go all the way down here to, nope, not drill site north. The hard mining mine, which is 79,000 kilometers away. Hopefully we can get there, especially with this nice tailwind. You just got to get that airspeed up. VTOL mode. And you can see we've got a pretty massive tailwind right now. So our airspeed is about 230. The ground speed is now 280. So you can see the benefit of that. So now it's kind of trailing off a little bit. But we still have a little bit of a, well, no, actually we don't have any advance. Well, it's kind of, coming and going. So maybe we're getting out of that storm or whatever that we were in. All right, so let's climb. Want to get up into that, 400 kilometer per hour range. 50 kilometers left to go, which is good. And we're just up, hitting the speed or sound barrier there. Now you will come across like I said, hurricanes and cyclones, and generally you don't want to fly during those because they will mess you up big time. Okay, stay out of the emission zone. Okay. Okay, so there's our destination point. Attention, double tariffs for any food and hard mining. Okay. Now, I don't know if these, like the orange destinations are kind of like story modes or if they're just like your missions, but I do notice that from time to time. Okay, so we're at 565 knots or kilometers per hour, I'm not sure which. 15 kilometers left to go. We're going to start a little bit of a descent here. Little low on fuel, but it's not too bad. I'm going to slow down. We're going to hit ETOL mode. Now, I'm sure you could probably see all of these canyons and things like that. So, and this is always a difficult destination to get into anyway. All right, we're coming down way too fast here, so I want to get some thrust. Now we're getting low on fuel. We still have plenty of fuel. Thanks for coming. People here do need food. Well, good. Don't hit that tower, please. Okay, let's flip it around like this. Okay, let's just back her up just a little bit. Okay, now set her down. Ever so gently. We've only got $873 left. All right. Hi, geologists have got a job for you. Geolocators, do it, and 20,000 credits are yours. Let's turn him down for right now. Whoops. And boom. We are almost $80,000 richer. But we have to refuel. Well, guys, that is my first look at the Frontier Pilot Simulator from Razer Games. Thank you so much again to Alex for sending me a key. I really appreciate it. I always enjoy trying out new game content. But check it out. It's I don't know if it's available for purchase on Steam. I'm not exactly sure how they're doing it, if it's early access yet. But check it out. By the time you see this video, if it's several months down the road, it might be available for you guys already. So check it out. Hit this button, or hit the like button, not this button because I haven't even said, but hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, watching me play some of this Frontier Pilot Simulator. Leave a comment and let me know what you think of the game if you want to see more. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe for this and many more videos. Guys, I'm BradM73. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.